On the news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari addresses Future Investment Initiative Conference in Saudi Arabia, promises to take out 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. Vice President Osinbajo advocates good ethical standard to sustain friendly working environment in Nigeria. Nigeria celebrates 60 years of television broadcasting with a renewed hope for the industry. Hello and welcome to Channel 12 News, brought to you live on Nta Abeokuta. My name is Idarisit Adedogun. President Muhammadu Buhari says new investments and reforms in Nigeria's agriculture sector holds the key to the attainment of his government's target of taking 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in the next 10 years. Participating at a panel discussion on the second day of the Future Investment Initiative Conference in Rio, the president underlined his administration's unshakable resolve towards actualizing its promise of reducing poverty in Nigeria. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has details.
The discussions held behind closed doors centered on the need to improve the efficiency of the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari said the NNPC will soon embark on a diagnostic assessment of refineries, pipelines, depots, and other infrastructure across the country to ascertain the level of collaboration with Aramco. Governor of the Public Investment Fund, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, who spoke of their interest in Nigeria, affirmed the company's position to promote business investment opportunities through technology across the energy sector.
We've made very good progress, and we are going back very happy. We're going to set up teams. What we have agreed is that we're going to set up teams on our side and on their side, and we will discuss further. They are coming to Nigeria to look at the refineries and the state of affairs of the pipelines, and then we'll take it up from there. Next year, first quarter, we are starting with the rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refinery, and I believe that by second quarter, we would have made some good progress towards the rehabilitation of Kaduna Refinery as well. And one of the promises the president made on election, second term election, is to ensure that we have our refineries working again. Because as you all know as Nigerians, if those refineries are working, our expenditure on subsidy will reduce. And that's really what we are pursuing. That's why we came out here to ensure that our refineries work and the ancillary pipelines work. And we are dedicated to his promise to deliver to Nigerians.
President Muhammadu Buhari also received in audience the United States Secretary of Treasury, Stephen Mnuchin, how Nigeria can leverage on available opportunities in the development of finance cooperation towards enhancing the socio-economic transformation of the country dominated discussions. The cooperation manages a $60 billion fund set up by the United States government to help African countries address challenges of development. Similarly, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Nta Abeokuta, engaged various investment funds, including Asma Capital, funded by Saudi Pension Fund, Saudi Investment Agency, as well as the Sultan of Brunei and the Kingdom of Bahrain.
They are very interested in investing in Nigeria, but unfortunately they've had a very bad experience in the past. And I promise that I would look into that issue when I get back home.
The minister and the potential investors have agreed to further their conversations. From Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has described energy company. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports.
With me, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. President.
What's next for Africa? How will investment and trade transform the continent into the next great economic success story was the topic of discussion. With President Muhammadu Buhari on the panel were his Kenyan counterpart Uhuru Kenyatta and Muhammadu Isufu of the Republic of Niger. President Buhari pointed to the key reforms being vigorously implemented by his administration, thereby not only encouraging agricultural revolution in Nigeria, but also making the sector a truly paying business for all.
Luckily, we have vast arable land in Nigeria. We have encouraged the young men and young able-bodied person, especially uneducated ones, to go back to the land. How do we do it? By giving soft loans to farmers, by making fertilizer available at half the price it used to be, and by making sure that we stopped importation of food because we are capable of achieving food security ourselves.
Responding to a question posed to the discussants if Russia is now the best friend of Africa, President Buhari said Nigeria in particular can neither ignore nor fail to appreciate the European nation's support at trying moments over the years.
We will never forget that we went over our civil war with the Russian help, and since then, politically and economically, the Russians are helping Nigeria in so many ways: security, economy, and fighting corruption. And in all this, the Russians are visibly helping Nigeria, and we are very grateful for that.
The Nigerian leader also used the forum to restate the irrevocable commitment of his government towards eliminating corruption through lawful enforcement and preventive measures. President Buhari's engagements on the sidelines of the Future Investment Initiative in Riyadh continued. From Riyadh, Kingdom.
President Muhammad Buhari has granted audience to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. This is coming barely 24 hours after the high-level engagement between the president and the Saudi monarch, King Salman bin Abdulaziz. State House correspondent Elizabeth Omori has details.
Prince Salman was accompanied to the meeting by 4 key ministers and other senior government officials. President Buhari in Saudi Arabia for the 3rd edition of Future Investment Initiative is sparked by the Public Investment Fund of the Kingdom.
And in another development, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is advocating the sustenance of the environment of promoting good ethical standard in Nigeria's public and private sector life to make benefits for the present and coming generations. He was speaking at the 10th National Prayer Breakfast organized by the Christian Legislators Fellowship of the National Assembly. Olabode Arewa has more.
An atmosphere of love, friendship, and togetherness permeating the Christian Brotherhood at the National Assembly is evident at this gathering. So individually and as a group, they express faith in God's ability to intervene and turn things around in Nigeria. Here, the Christian legislators, their aides, and other guests lifted their voices to God in supplication.
Oh God, arise! Oh God, arise over our nation!
In the last 10 years, the event has provided a platform to remind the legislators of the need to positively impact on society through lawmaking.
We have to come together as a nation, sing the song of the nations, and pray. So all our strategies will fail if we abandon God. So what we have come to do is to give him that reference. We still have hope that with God all things are possible.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is grateful that the prayers of the saints are being answered by God.
It is because of his stripes that no physical weapon, no disease can be laid upon you. They are free of disease, they are free of curses.
The 2019 theme of the fullness of time offered the legislators opportunity to retrospect, assess, and plan ahead to make Nigeria better. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
And still on legislative matters, the Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs has screened 14 out of the 16 nominees for appointments as members of the Governing Board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports that during the exercise, the committee had on the need to ensure the completion of abandoned projects by the Commission.
On Tuesday, 29th of October 2019, Senate received requests from President Muhammadu Buhari for the confirmation of 16 nominees as members of Governing Board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Same day, Senate at plenary mandated its Committee on Niger Delta Affairs to screen the nominees. 2 days after, the committee has screened 14 of the nominees with specific advice to address the issue of abandoned projects by the Commission in the Niger Delta region.
My dear brothers and sisters and colleagues, it's a duty that we have to perform and report back within 1 week. I hope and I pray that your own tenure will be different to ensure that the quantum of abandoned projects in the LDDC, Nigeria is reduced.
Those who are screened made a promise to give in their best in the development of the Niger Delta.
That we are committed to working with this committee of Senate and the House of Assembly to repositioning and rebranding the Niger Delta Commission so that we can change the narratives for good.
Pius Odubu is to serve as chairman with Bernard Okumaba as managing director. The remaining 2 nominees, Joy Nunio representing River State and Aisha Mohammed representing Northwest, are to be screened on Monday next week before confirmation of the 16 nominees on the floor of the Senate. The Niger Delta Development Commission is a federal government agency established in 2000 with the mandate of developing the Niger Delta region of Nigeria from the National Assembly. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And moving on, the content of television programming has been identified as essential to making the broadcasting industry maintain its essence of building a united nation and contributing to national growth. This was among the contributions of guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, which focused on 60 years of television in Nigeria. Olusheye Adeagu has details.
The station where I worked, WNTV, by
An historical background to television broadcasting from NTA's first Director General, Vincent Maduka, kick-started the conversation as the guest agreed that revolution in technology has aided the desired transition in broadcast industry in the country, even as they expressed concern over the low level of local content in present-day programming. The guest called on petitioners to be alive to their responsibilities by making sure television broadcasting continue to fulfill its potentials.
Television was drawing from existing facilities